Lesson 4-6. Hello, Ellen. Don't have too much fun at home. So lesson 4-6, we have writing equations. Okay, so how do we write an equation? Well, that's what we're going to find out. So example 1, it says translating sentences into equations. So this is a little tough because we're getting into word problems and then turning it into an equation. So we're on page 205. Page 205. How many examples here do we have so I know? Oh, only 3 examples. Okay. I'll spend a little more time on each example. Okay, so we have letter A of example 1. It says, Zach has 6 shirts. So I'm going to write 6. Zach has 6 shirts. This is 4 less and twice the number of shirts N that Xavier has. So here on the left side, this is Zach. So Zach has 6 total shirts. So that's all it says. Zach has 6 shirts. And then on the right side of my equation, it's going to be a little different because they're giving us this weird equation that we have to solve for. So it says this is 4 less than. So when you hear less than, is that going to be a positive number or a negative number, Madeline? 4 less, huh? So it says less. When you are losing something, are you gaining something? So going up, or are you, yeah, subtract, yep. Right, yep. So you'd have minus 4. So that's part of it. You're going down by 4 because there it says less. And then it says you have twice the number of shirts, which they say is N. So N is my variable, so I'm gonna just write N. When it says twice the number, what am I gonna do with that, Logan? Twice the number. Yep, times it by 2. So 2 times N, because it's double the variable. So right here on this side, so all of this is Xavier. Xavier's on the right side of the equation, and Zach's on the left side. So let's try another one of those examples. So example letter B. Example letter B on example 1 on page 205. So we have 8 more than the quotient of a number y, and -3 is 24. So 8 more than the quotient of a number y, and -3 is 24. So it's separated there. So at the very end, we have a -24, and that's because we have a bunch of junk over here on this side. We have to formulate through that sentence. It says 8 more than the quotient, so 8 more than. So that right there, more than is positive. And then we have, so the quotient of a number, which that unknown number they're saying is y. Quotient is division, and we have -3. So it's saying y divided by -3. So 8 is my positive number, and then adding that to y of the quotient of -3. So y divided by -3, and your answer is -24. So that's how we would write that one out. So breaking these down. Letter C. Jeremy has 13 baseball cards. So that's one statement. 13 baseball cards. Nothing else with that. 13, which is 7 more. So 7 more, so that's +7. Then 3 times the number Michael has. So that would be 3 times M, because the 3 has 3 times the number of M. It is combined with that. So you're saying triple the number of cards you have. Triple the number of cards you have. So everything that's written in that sentence you're putting it down into number form. So it's really important that we know quotient means division, product means multiplication, addition, sum, difference, subtraction. So those are all very important. And then whenever they say of a number, that's when you're putting in the unknown letter. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so on and so forth. Okay. All right, let's try example 2. Let's try example 2. And I'm going to say now the best way to do these is just through repetition. So as you're going through your homework, it's going to be tough going through them, but once you start to understand how it's going, it'll become better through repetition. So that's usually how math works, but it's especially true for this right here. So doing something over and over again. Yep. So write and solve an equation. Write and solve an equation. So it says Juan's father was 29 years old when Juan was born. This year, the sum of their ages is 53. Find their ages. So we have Juan and Juan's father. So for Juan, we're going to do, let's just do J as our unknown because that's Juan. So we don't know what Juan's age is, and we don't know what Juan's father's age is. So we're going to put J and J, Juan and Juan's father. And then we have, let's see, the difference of their ages is 29 years. So 29, that's the difference between their ages. And then the total of their ages is 53. 53 is the total difference of their age. Oh, wait, no, that's the sum. So the sum of their total age, that makes more sense. So their total age added together would be 53. Okay. Man, Juan must be pretty young. All right, so write out our equation. So we did that. That was step 1. Now we need to combine like terms. So we have J and J. Adding those together, we're going to have 2J because there's 2 J's plus 29 equals 53. Now I'm going to solve it from there. So 53 minus 29 to both sides. I'm left with 2J equals 53 minus 29, which is going to be 24. 53 minus 29 is 24, so 13 minus 9 is 4. And then borrowing from that 5, you have 4, so 4 minus 2 is 2. Sorry, did that in my head real quick. Then 2J equals 24. 2J equals 24. So divide by 2 to both sides. I have J equals 12 because I took 24 divided by 2. So I divided both sides by 2. Divide the left side of the equation by 2, divide the right side of my equation by 2. And you're left with J equals 24 divided by 2, which equals 12. So there is a difference of 12. So Juan is 12 years old. Juan is 12 years old. That's what we just solved for. All right. So there is that. Okay, so let's see here. Now we're getting to the real world part. Let's see what this is. So solving a 2-step verbal problem. Solving a 2-step verbal problem. Okay. Oh, not stop share. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Clear. That's what I wanted. All right, example 3. Example 3. So example 3, real world question. So we have Logan collected pledges for the charity walkathon. Good job, Logan. So we will receive total contributions of $68. So $68, and write that down right now. $68 plus $20 plus $20 for every mile walked. So for every mile walked, so I'm going to put an M right after that because you get $20 for 1 mile. That would be just $20. $20 plus 2 miles would be 20 times 2, which would be $40, right? So that makes sense. How many miles will he need to walk to raise $348? So our total is going to be $348. $348. So I am solving for M, which is the number of miles. So first, Madeline, what am I going to do to solve for M? Why, yes, I would. Subtract by 68 to both sides. So I'm going to be left with 20M equals 348 divided, or 348 minus 68. So 8 minus 8 is 0. Then I'm going to borrow from that 3. So 14 minus 6, we got an 8. And then bring my 2 straight down, so 28. And then I have 28 divided by, good call. Forgot about my 0, poor 0. So 20 divided by 280, good catch. So 280 divided by 20 to both sides, because the opposite of multiplication is division. So 280 divided by 20. All right, so let's go ahead and try that out. Yes, I could, yeah. So one thing you could do, since you have a 0 right there and a 0 right there, I could just do 28 divided by 2, which would just be 14. That's a much quicker method. That's a much quicker method. But we could do 280 divided by 20 as well, which that would just take a little bit longer. So any questions there with that? So 14 miles must be walked to make the $348. All right, so start going through the examples. There's a lot of word problems. Pretty much this entire lesson is a bunch of word problems. So you guys have 2 through 40 even, page 207. So start chugging along. And let me know if you have questions once I'm done with the 8-7 group here. More than, yeah, you would be adding. Yep, more than would be adding, less than would be subtracting.